Okay, people want to know my theory on evolution and creation. I am a firm believer that God created the world, and I also believe in evolution. If you use it as an example, and this is just an example, this is not my absolute belief. Scientists say that the Earth is between 4.5 billion and 6 billion years old. The Bible says it's 6,000 years old. So if we go with the 6 billion issue, and you divide it into that, that means each one of God's years is a million of our years. That comes out to each one of our days being 2,740 years to God, or 247,000. And alone, if you just go by that standards, that meant it took almost 20,000 years the first week to create the earth. Now that's just an example of how to use math in this. If, though, you keep in mind that the calendar year we got now, 365 days, it's less than 2,000 years old. So let's say a year back then was, 120 days. That means one of God's days can be 100 million of our years. Everybody says that we evolved from apes. Now, most scientists say we evolved from chimpanzees, not apes. So if you go into this, all the different branches of the apes, chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas, monkeys, everything else, why has none of the rest of them developed a voice box? If we evolved from chimps, why did all the current evolution down from the other branches of the ape family not develop voice boxes? Now somebody tells me yesterday that we have a split thing. We both evolved from one Aporepas or something like that. I don't know what the word is. Monkeys went one way and we went the other. Well, I have the same question there. If we both have the same founding father, then why hasn't multiple versions of apes, chimpanzees, orangutans developed voice boxes like we have? They're wanting to say evolution works because this one group got ahead of the rest. Evolution works because crocodiles, evolved. Crocodiles ain't changed a damn bit. They've gotten smaller. That's all they've done. And that's because of food. Now, if you use so many things, birds, they say dinosaurs turned into birds. Okay? They devolved then, not evolved. So, it just makes no sense. Yes, I'm a firm believer that God created the world. There is a God. And He gave us free will. And it's the free will that man has that is bringing this country down right now. But that's the way God intended it. You have to believe because you choose to believe. So many people want to talk evolution. How can the religious people say dinosaurs can't be as old as they were because the Bible says 6,000 years? Well, they're wrong. Simply up, wrong. But for a scientist to say that a man with an opposable thumb, a voice box, a brain that sends rocket ships into space, that does brain surgery, that transplants hearts, that transplanted a face on a woman a couple months ago, evolved from an amoeba in the ocean, don't believe it. No way, shape, or form. When there's not another creature on the planet that has the brain capacity and the understanding that we do I believe we totally evolved from an amoeba. It's just an impossibility. You said, so many times I sit and look at dogs. Dogs are very smart. But dogs can't do brain surgery. It's just that simple. Evolution works based on the fact that God created the heavens and the earth, the animals of the ocean, the animals of the air, the animals of the land. And I believe that caveman, Neanderthal man, Proterozoic man were all animals of the land. Then God said, I want to create man in my image. Man with a brain. Man with an opposable thumb. Man that could do things, accomplish things, create things. There's nothing that any of them others could do. Fire to them was amazing. But did they learn to cook? They had fire. All scientists say they had fire for almost 50,000 years before they decided to throw a chopped up piece of meat on it and cook it. Now, does that show they have a brain? No. Evolution works, yes, for animals and trends. Man's evolved. If you look at, the men in the Bible, or if you go back in society and look at the men back here, we're bigger than they are, we're taller than they are, we use our brain better than they are, our voice boxes are clearer than what they are. So yes, we do evolve, just like all animals do, but we weren't an ape, we weren't a caveman. God created us after those were made in His image.